Too weird to live, too rare to die, or too strange to die. I forget what that quote is. Great movie. This is a Little Bear, like, you know, the Little Bear tube. Oh, it's great. Portable tube. Oh, that. And it just kept popping up in like the related search items when I would look for those things. And I looked at it and I went, why are you ugly? And then I saw pictures of the back and I went, why are you for sale? This is the P9, and here's the deal. I bought it on Amazon. I just straight up bought it on Amazon, $100. All right, let's try it for $100. If you go to Amazon right now, it is unavailable, and it had no reviews, and it's unavailable with no reviews. No one bought this. No one. You can't buy it. If you can, link in the I'll link to this page. If it's there in the description, well, y'all in for a treat. It's one of the strangest purchases I've ever made because it's a tube amp, okay, but it's a big fatty tube with actually right and left. It's backwards. That's the right side. That's the left side. A fat FU32 tube, and it has a list of tubes that are compatible with it. It also says, "Oh, easy op amp change," and I'm just like, okay. I'm pretty sure you have to like disassemble the entire thing to change the op amps. Let's look at the basic structure of it. Headphone input here. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Headphone output here. Line input here. So their input, their output. There's nothing back here. Power input, on-off switch, big red button. Just like the Little Bear with the knob on top that had the white or red. Here it is, look, it's the red one. Apparently fucking exposed AC lines. So here, this literally, I did not put this on here. This came from the factory with a piece of paper, a bright yellow one that says 110 volt squiggly line, and it's a transformer in this plastic box to make the plastic box look more intimidating. And then we've got like 6.3 volt to 0 and 200 volt to 200 volt to 0. And it's like, that's a lot of, like, shouldn't be able to touch these wires. Hello, McFly. But I bought it anyway because I didn't know, I want to live on the edge. Maybe I'm done with living. Let's just buy this. AC input, full 110, none of that transformer bullshit. This is legit. It's a legit transformer throwing 200 volts out. And it is a hybrid. It claims it's a hybrid. You can see it right here, written here. FU32 tube and op chip hybrid headphone amplifier. P9 Little Bear. It doesn't sound bad, you know. Here's the thing. It doesn't sound bad. But using an input on the front is stupid. I don't want to plug a 3.5 millimeter into that. So let's plug in the power. Try not to get electrocuted. And now let's plug in the signal from the Geshelli Labs Enog. That's exactly where those are. They're literally RCA terminals on top. There's RCA terminals on top there. And it says on the Amazon page at the very bottom, the sound, by the way, is going to be warm and emotional. Just want to point that out. Stereo left and right RCA and 3.5 millimeter jack, 2 ways. The front jack will override the top. So if you have like a desktop, you want to plug your phone into this, you can use the input and it'll override. It also says, while using RCA input, please place the RCA audio cable away from the transformer to avoid noise. So that's like, can't. It literally fucking cannot. I'm not going to stretch this out and put it under the unit. So that's the best you're getting, Little Bear. It's just the best you're getting. Let's turn it on. I kind of was a little nervous the very first time I turned this thing on. I was like, and then I walked away. Because that is a thick glass tube. And you can see it glowing right there. A couple little glows. And I plugged it in. I plugged in my 600s, which are the go-to for testing tube amps. And I put the little earth sign thing on it. Actually, I'm not... what am I doing? I gotta keep the waifus up or you guys will leave. The question mark. See the question marks? Like, what the fuck is exactly this? That's a quality sound. It actually is like a good, like this is good. Like it's fucking good. It's like, holy shit. That's at least Little Bear Mark II levels of like, oh, tubiness and punch and decay and oh. Here's the issue though. I've got the Geshelli Labs feeding it, which if you watch my review of the Geshelli Labs DAC, you know this. It has a button, you press a button and it goes from full line level out to 12 dB down to 24 dB down. And if I put that on full line level out into this, there's nothing but distortion. I thought it was busted. I thought the tube exploded or fucking something was dying. Because it was like it was quiet parts of the song were fine, but then it got anything with bass or anything louder than like the human voice was just pure distortion. So, all right, Geshelli Labs has a built-in, squash. So, boom, down 12. Oh, that's better, but still some distortion. Down 24, 20 decibels, 20, 24. So, I don't know what DAC, like, I couldn't plug this into any other DAC that isn't limited. You'd have to go into FooBar or Windows and literally lower the volume down. Because this thing is just going to it's just insanely over-ramped. Now, that might have to do with the op amps that could be changed, because it says it doesn't have high current op amps. And if you want to run high current op amps to make it more powerful, so on and so forth. But still, that's a little bit fucky. This was basically designed by a maniac. Can we just agree? Like, if I was a high school teacher and I was running, like, electronics, computers, and circuitry, and I said, everyone bring in your science projects for the fair, for your final grade, and someone built this, I would be okay with that. There's some exposed wires in the back, and you got to plug the RCAs in on top, and it's got weird things and distortion unless you... This is a very good high school project. If it didn't sound good, I would be giving it a terribly bad review. But here's the thing. I quelled the Geshelli Labs, so I dropped it down to the lowest output voltage, and now I get no distortion. And it says in the thing it's good for 600 ohms if you use the high output thing. So these are 300, and I believe with an op amp swap, oof. But now, like, that's a legit tube. It's sounding like a tube. It's sounding tubey. It's a tubey fucking tube amp. I could literally unplug either one of these sides and have the right channel or left channel go out. Also, it's boom. These are actually functional top heaters doing their job. It's just so fucking weird. Like, here's the thing. You can't buy it. Unless a miracle happens and it shows back up on Amazon, this is just like a retro review. Maybe you'll find one on AliExpress. All right? Probably for less than $100. Or you'll find one on eBay. But you're not going to be able to really buy... Like, this is not going to be seen when I see pictures of people's desks and you can tell Zeos had an influence because there's nothing but foam blocks. Foam blocks and SMSL stuff and a goddamn S789. I don't think you're going to see many P9s. And it's a shame. Because it actually does a decent job. Like at least $100 decent job. But here's this. Like, I finished reviewing this earlier. And it's a Little Bear tube amp for $100. And it's portable, battery-powered, Raytheon American-made tubes. It comes with this fucking German jumper cable, like made in Germany. Why? Don't know. And it's fucking well built, and it's put together, and it's good. It's good. It sounds nice and tubey. And this is also $100. But it's this. It's just all of it. All of this. It was so weird I had to buy it. The Patreon money paid for this, by the way. If you don't know about the Patreon buys weird shit that I don't want companies to send me, because I don't want to have to... If the company sent this to me, I'd have like an email with like, yeah, I'm done with the review. What the fuck? That would be the email. But at least if I'm buying it, I could just, throw it in the yard sale, sell it for, $73.21, and someone gets to play with a cool P9 tube amp. As long as you can limit the voltage or are willing to lower your output volume. The thing is, I've run a couple headphones on it, And it's not like, oh, it's passable as a tube. It's a good fucking tube. By the way, these are like $2,200 Macintosh headphones. And oh, they're going to get their review. Oh, they're going to get it in their review. Oh, they're going to get it. You put this behind a box made of wood and with a knob and a big 1/4-inch headphone plug, and you say, what do you think about my new tube amp? And you dress it up and you make it look really pretty. I'd be like, wow, it sounds decent. Like, I like the way it sounds. It's adding a nice warmth. And what was the other thing? Emotion? It adds warmth and emotion. It fucking does. Much more playability. Upgrade the device by yourself. It's a kit amp. It's a fucking kit amp. Literally the description is telling you to upgrade it. They're like, here's the minimum amount we can give it to you. Duke Audio selling, here's a Little Bear P9. The sound output is warm and emotional. All frequencies are balanced and are full of analog style and tubu flavor. T-U-B-U-E. Tubu flavor. It definitely has tubu flavor. I don't even have to write any jokes for this fucking show. This is fucking perfect. Its low frequency is intense and powerful, while its high frequency is very accurate and won't split. How you doing? Yeah, no, short review. Here you go. Duke Audio, Little Bear P9. Fucking weird, but a quality weird. It's a good weird. It's just, I don't think it's going to sell much if you're not selling it, and I don't think it's going to sell much because it's got exposed 200-volt fucking rails in the back. But it does sound very good. Like, it's really like, would I put it over my dark voice? You know what? In a darkened room, I may not be able to tell the difference, other than the fact that this has a little bit of a hum. The slightest hum when you turn it way up, way past the listenable volume. And oh, if you want to hear, let me see if I can get this to actually be audible. Now I've set that to the highest gain. Let's put on another track that's louder. Why is everything I have well recorded? God damn it. It just sounds like farting into a tin can. Because the signal output's too high. You gotta crank the shit down. 1, 2. And then it's gonna be. Yeah, it's the weirdest tube amp I've ever reviewed. How's that? It's got the weirdest build, it's got the weirdest quirks, and it's got damn good sound. So if it sounded like shit, this would be easy, because I'd be like, don't buy it. But I mean, the back power button, I'm kind of interested in telling people to try to find it. Tell you what, in the description of this video will be linked the dead page on Amazon, along with the Little Dot Mark II, the Little Dot Mark III, the Little Bear portable there, a couple other tubes basically, just to give you an alternative. But I'm just so fucking I enjoy making weird purchase decisions and then being surprised by the results. I bought this with absolutely no... I mean, look at it. I didn't think this was going to blow my mind. It's kind of blowing my mind a little bit. It's got it's a hybrid, so it's got power, but the tube is doing like a lot of work, but then you got to lower the input gain, and then the fucking... I didn't even know when looking at it the RCAs are on top. I thought that was the only input. I'm just befuddled by this freaking thing. And it'll be in a yard sale. Now, if you don't know what the yard sales are, when I buy things like this, and I'm done, and I don't need to put them on a shelf or on a wall or on a fucking wall or on a fucking wall and a shelf wall, I just sell them to my patrons. So from the 1st to the 10th of every month, I'll put up a video and I'll say, hey, okay, come join Patreon and bid on this. And the way you bid on it is you pick a number. You give a very random number, like $71.18, and you email that in, and then we go over the numbers, and whoever bid the highest wins, and you'll be emailed back. And if it's in America, continental United States, I will ship it to you for free. So if this was 100 and you bid 62 and I ship it to you for free, well, you just saved yourself, $40. So it's worth $5 to join the Patreon. If you're international, if you want this and you're in Belgium, I don't know why you'd be in Belgium and want this, but if you are, I'll pay half of the shipping to Belgium, which might actually be more than the cost of the whole unit. But we'll find out. All right. I have too many international patrons to not also offer them the yard sale stuff. You get to see these reviews early, probably 4 or 5 days right now, because I'm sort of falling behind because of dailies. But I try to get over a week. And then there's a $10 Patreon tier, which lets you talk to me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with a bunch of other people who have paid the price. What was it? What's the Game of Thrones thing? Lannisters always pay their debts. And that's not it. Something else. There's another pay reference from Game of Thrones. Why was that up? Don't do that. Yeah, so anyway, join the Patreon if you want. Check it out. Read the things in the description. I'll link to this again, all this crap, and the wallpaper. Always the wallpaper. The wallpaper is an adorable girl. Always 2D, usually 2D. I've had some Emma Watsons on there. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So download that. Look at this. Enjoy music and life and everything else. And I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. There'll be something, I guarantee you there'll be something more normal on tomorrow. Or not. It depends on what tomorrow is. Goodbye.